International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future, a hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUM for life. We are IUM.
Good evening and welcome to Today on One. I'm Isai Sipunga. In the news tonight, Herero Mall murder sends shock waves amongst regulars. Alleged unfair labor practices at Irindi continue. Procurement Act compliance by public entities remain low, says IPPR. Unemployed graduate ventures into farming. And Roundup, Business on One, Comments Corner, Sports and the weather. First up, locals who frequent the Herero Mall area are still in shock over the murder of a 22-year-old male identified as Levi Congenipolis. Police found the deceased decaying body in an unplugged freezer several days ago. Two suspects have since been apprehended and are currently in police custody.
Today on One spoke to some locals who regularly visit the area for leisure.
The first thing, I'm very disappointed from Namibian police and the bar owner that rent out bars to these people. Those people, number one, they don't have papers in this country. They are not even allowed to come sell here. I do not know what type of immigration, home affairs, what do they do? They are here, they take over the place, they start beating each other, killing each other. Do you know how many times here they rob people here in bars? They see you are drinking here, you have money, they send someone to come take your stuff. And those are the only people that are here who are doing this. And I blame all these bar owners that rent out people.
Another visitor blames the authorities for the increasing crime rate. He says the councillors are not participating in making sure the area is safe.
We told him she must come here so we can put them in the meeting, so we can talk. The councillor is not even coming to us. People are trying. They are gripping phones here.
Nampol's Commissioner Ismail Basson confirmed the incident and expressed great concern about the crime rate in that area.
We alerted of a body in the fridge, that is at Herero Mall. And then investigation, it appears that there was some kind of scuffles between with the deceased and the unknown people. Yeah, that is what happened basically at Herero Mall on that day. Yes, I'm sure people will be worried about their safety. Equally so, the police are also worried of the rate of crime, and particularly with the relaxation of the regulations. It becomes even more. Alcohol is too much. Yes, but again, on top of all of that, the police are still responsible for the maintaining of law and order. That is our mandate and our function, so we will stick to that.
22-year-old Malakia Mateus and 35-year-old Amos Israel are currently in police custody and will make their next court appearance on January 27, 2022. Police investigation continues.
Oranienburg, established in 1936, from which point onwards CDM, now Namdeb Diamond Corporation, provided every service, the schooling, infrastructure and entertainment required for the people of the town. The winds of change is blowing over Oranienburg, which is no longer a closed town.
This ship was commandeered by King Charles III, and he actually sent a knight to Spain to go and fetch some money from investors, because they wanted to go and fetch some spices in India.
When we were kids, the mine delivered milk, bread, and black paper, black plastic bags for your rubbish, and cleaned your garden, did the maintenance of your house. You had furniture already installed in your house.
Nothing is too good for my daughter. Now here's the deal, Nambi. There's no playing around with other boys before your wedding. Do you understand me? It's the most important day of your life.
Nambi, baby, you have a face like a beautiful person. I got you this Virgin Mary necklace to protect your innocence.
Stupid man. We have loved each other since high school, and now you want to turn your back on me? All the plans we made, you just throw them away? And you want Nambi now? When I've always been there for you, Ziwa, do you understand? And she doesn't even love you. I wasted my time on someone like you.
Don't be like that, Jalia.
Love, everybody needs it. Love.
Subjection to alleged unfair labor practices persist for employees at the Erindi Private Game Reserve, which according to the Namibia Commercial Catering Food and Allied Workers Union representing the Erindi employees, one of the workers had to face degrading treatment after she was accused of theft and forced to strip in front of her fellow colleagues.
The Namibia Commercial Catering Food and Allied Workers Union, in a letter addressed to the Erindi management, expressed disappointment over Erindi management's inability to address the numerous grievances brought forward by employees.
We are subsequently reacting to an incident that happened at Erindi Game Reserves, whereby one of our members was degraded and in that fashion been treated to an extent of inhumanity. This incident happened on the 8th of November, where the management of Erindi, with a specific name that is Rwanti, has confronted the employee and asked her what she has in her possession and that she has stolen from them. What the incident entails was that the person was asked to remove their apron, and the person consistently says, which is Miss Nadia, I have nothing on myself, on my body, and Rwandi was insisting, saying that she has stolen from them, and then was forcing this employee to undress herself. Subsequently, after some discussion around between where the parties, I think, and the other employees also been around the issue, the worker was forced literally to undress herself, whereby she was standing in one could say a tight and in her bra, whereby the management have went to extend to look into the clothes that she was wearing, and they did not get anything. Without any apology or anything of that nature, they have just turned around and they left.
The union adds that the continued disregard for employees' rights at Erindi cannot go undealt with, noting that it will do everything in its power to take on the private game reserve.
It is time that we should just start to say spade for spade and eye for eye. It is time that we need to start to say that this management, all of them must resign. They must resign, and let's get management that will respect employees. This is Namibia. People have fought for this country. People have died for this country. We're not going to allow our members, our workers, black Namibians, to be treated and dehumiliated in that regard. What we are saying going forward, we are saying that we will build Erindi, and if need to be, to close it down, we have to close it down. We are asking for Namibians that are peace-loving to go out there in numbers and assist us, because we are now starting to fight a battle that we don't know where it's going to take us.
Erindi management lawyers in a communication with the union noted that engagements are ongoing with the management and feedback will be given soon. The private game reserve has in the past also been accused of racism, apartheid, favoritism, nepotism, and biased management.
With trusted quality and great value on all Clicks brand products, switch and save. Buy Clicks Made for Baby toiletries from $11.49. Buy Clicks Made for Baby 240 baby wipes, $70.99 per pack. Or buy Clicks Made for Baby Dry Protect Disposable Nappies Jumbo Pack, $189.99. Clicks, feel good, pay less.
The Institute for Public Policy Research, in its latest edition of the Procurement Tracker Namibia, a publication that evaluates the data on how many public institutions have been complying with the Procurement Act of 2015's reporting obligations, revealed that there is generally low compliance by public entities.
According to the IPPR, this phenomenon is largely due to limited procurement proficient personnel at public entities, limited understanding of the Act, lack of information technology facilities at public entities, lack of implementation of compliance measures, and sporadic releasing of funds, among other challenges.
Go back to Procurement Tracker 13. This one is Procurement Tracker 15. You'll see a lot of the issues that we addressed 2 editions ago actually once again surface in the PPU report that was tabled in the National Assembly in October. So let's get straight into it. So the systemic problems. So some of what we, as I said, this was from a combined annual report for the financial years 2017-18 to 2019-20. And we lay out in our feature the challenges and problems listed by the Procurement Policy Unit for those sort of the lessons over those 3 financial years. So firstly, there was a lack of capacity. There's a recurring issue within the public procurement system, within the PPU, the Procurement Policy Unit, within the Central Procurement Board, at review panel level, and also lower down in these points at individual organization level. There are issues around staffing and capacity and so forth within these procurement structures across the state. And these are issues that, I mean, we've sort of spotlighted previously very extensively, and these have now come up again in this combined annual report of the Central Procurement of the Procurement Policy Unit.
Lungs also provided some of the solutions which the IPPR is currently working on towards overcoming these challenges and problems.
The solutions that are proposed in this combined annual report of the Procurement Policy Unit, of course, more staff and expedited employment processes, both at PPU level, at CPB, at the Central Procurement Board level, at review panel, at individual organizational levels, to bring in professional and capacitated staff into these structures. As I indicated, the PPU should develop all standard bidding documents, improve existing bidding documents. To a large extent, this particular challenge has already been significantly addressed. And then, of course, this is one of the areas that we feel needs to get a greater attention, is the issue of a proper monitoring framework, monitoring system to monitor what's happening within the public procurement system. And this would help inform, of course, reporting by the PPU and also, hold individual organizations accountable if real-time monitoring and reporting is done.
Lens concluded that in his mid-year budget speech recently, the Minister of Finance, Ipumbushimi, briefly acknowledged some of the prevailing issues identified in the public procurement system and measures put in place to mitigate these issues.
Early this morning, woke up holding my head, hearing my heartbeat all night long. Shades of this motel keeping me in bed, reading the news, just trying to stay strong. I need to just get up, take a deep breath, keep it together, 'cause it's a beautiful day. Sun on my face, feeling okay. Don't let it get away. It's a beautiful day. Feeling so proud, screaming out loud. It's a beautiful day. Beautiful day. Feeling so proud, screaming out loud. It's a beautiful day.
New in the farming business, Derek Lilonello, an unemployed graduate, decided to venture into poultry farming in August this year. Based in Linyanti constituency, about 110 kilometers from Katima Mulilo, Derek runs his poultry business called African Taste, where he has one employee who looks after the chickens and occasional casual workers who assist him with slaughtering.
I started this business of poultry in August. I had to order day-old chicks from one of the retailers in town. And the reason why I started that was because when I came out from outside the country, I discovered that a lot of people in the village, they struggle a lot for relish. So I needed to identify the gap, like there was that gap of the supply of relish. So I thought of starting up the poultry, which is the broiler type. I'm not only intending to do the broilers, I'm also intending to get into the egg production. I'm intending to get into the egg production as well. So this is my first batch, even though already some have been ordered. They're already in town. We had 20 which were ordered from town, but we're slaughtering today, and from here we'll be doing our distribution around the village to see if people can be interested.
Despite being new in the business, Derek foresees a great future in poultry farming and would like to expand his business. He currently sells chickens to the local community and also takes orders from Katima Mulilo, which he then delivers himself.
The same chickens that you buy from big retail shops, they're the one that makes practice. I'm into the industry now. I've started with the stock of 200 beds, and I had a mortality rate of there were 10 that died out of 200, which according to the people who are mentoring us in the poultry industry, that was a very good number. In terms of the mortality rates. Usually people face a lot of mortality rates when they're still young. They are very sensitive when they are young, but we not face that much. We can expect that we are first time to also run this. I lived outside the country and I'm back home now implementing. So yes, they are here. We have already started supplying. We sent some to the Tunamlilo already.
Derek also recently started to introduce more livestock, such as goats, to his business. For orders or to visit his projects, Derek can be contacted on 081 377 6882.
pada kira koreba One Africa Television sa sida one king isa hura kakasin siske one mana sida ku abakimira man sida ke kaise sas eyanyisa kanka hanais One Africa Television.
In other leading stories, according to the Agribank Monthly Market Watch, the dragging global supply chain compared to escalating market demand is putting pressure on input prices, consequently surging global inflation. The IMF warns of risks of further increase in inflation at the end of 2021. Namibia is no exception, as inflation continues to increase as a result of both import inflation coupled with spiking petrol prices. Global oil prices reached multi-year highs to settle at $85.99 per barrel on the 25th of October 2021 on the basis of tight supply and strengthening demand as economic activities restore. The spillover effect of increasing global oil prices has resulted in sharp hikes in Namibia's petrol price for 3 consecutive months. In increasing petrol prices, the Ministry of Mines and Energy cited that the under-recovery is as a result of a weaker Namibia dollar against the US dollar, amplified by an increased global demand for oil. This will continue to put a dent on consumers' pockets as high cost of food, inputs, logistics and transport manifest. And Capricorn Group, one of the most established groups in Namibia, has won the leading financial investment firm Namibia 2021. The Global Brand Awards is an annual event held by Global Brands magazine, an international publication headquartered in the UK. The award aims to recognize global brands achieving excellence in performance across a broad range of sectors while keeping its readers updated on crucial trends surrounding the branding world. Global Brands magazine has been at the forefront, bringing news, views and opinions on brands shaping the future of the industry. The Global Brand Awards honors brands for their excellence in performance and rewards companies across different sectors for the quality of their services. The Brand Awards highlight the accomplishments of organizations that have performed remarkably well in finance, education, hospitality, automotive, lifestyle, education, real estate, technology and more. The awards also recognize vital players who progress towards excellence by providing a platform to acknowledge their efforts. In addition, it strives to create awareness concerning the significance of such organizations and rewards them for their notable efforts with the ultimate global recognition.
Growth is walking side by side to open the future to new possibilities.
It means enabling Namibians to do more with all the new technologies that we introduce.
It's communicating so that all our stakeholders know what is possible for them on mobile, at home and in the office.
It's answering the calls for people's desire to improve their lives.
It is making sure that each share that people buy into provides value.
Providing a space where growth can happen, giving people freedom to expand their horizons.
In every way imaginable.
It is about increasing our capabilities and infrastructure so that Namibians can enjoy more connectivity as well as nature growth. It is indeed a future worth investing in.
We thank all Namibians for making our IPO a success. Thank you for showing that our future is worth investing in.
MTC, make the connection.
More than ever before, football fans demand unique insight and analysis. The Football Review is much more than a highlights show. Bold, provocative editorial that goes beyond conventional reporting, setting the agenda for football discussion. Champions League, Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga, Liga and much more. Want genuine insight with hard-hitting editorial? Need compelling premium football content? The Football Review. Best, bar none.
Joseph Shifeni is standing by for today's Business on One and Economic Indicators.
Welcome to Business on One. I'm Joseph Shifeni. Customers of Paratus Namibia and MTN Namibia could expect to benefit from a deal that will expand the network coverage of the two operators, effectively disrupting the local ICT industry. The National Roaming Agreement is the first of its kind, and both companies have described the move as a milestone and a win-win for everyone.
Paratus Namibia is one of the fastest growing network providers in Namibia. As they continue to deliver unlimited connectivity to people and businesses in the country, their investments in fibre infrastructure continues to increase and is currently running at $150 million annually. In October 2021, the company announced that they will enter into a commercial agreement with MTN Namibia to share infrastructure, which will allow the operators to collectively provide better service to customers at lower costs.
Effectively, we're shaking up the market and disrupting the telecoms monopoly. We are changing the way that infrastructure sharing is done in the country by operators to the benefit of the customer by increasing coverage and offering a better quality of service. With MTN, we are sharing our mobile infrastructure to enable us to do this. Today marks a new dawn for the telecommunications industry to the benefit of everyone in Namibia. Paratus is committed to entering into commercial agreements of this type, as we are committed to delivering Africa's quality network. In essence, we are giving a leg up to the ICT industry in Namibia, offering other operators access to our infrastructure. Early this year, we signed an agreement with Africa Online. This was our first open access agreement, which in essence gave them the opportunity to offer fibre on our network to their customers. All these interventions led by Paratus are helping shake up the market and moving the focus towards quality, fast, secure connections for more people in Namibia, all without having to increase the pricing. This in turn boosts business and the economy, which is a positive for everyone.
Elliot Taros, the managing director of MTN Namibia, said the partnership is the first of its kind in the domestic industry.
This agreement is the first of its kind in Namibia, the 4G roaming, together with MTN and Paratus. The reason we've done this is because we believe as MTN across the group that everybody deserves the right to a modern connected life across Africa and the Middle East, and that we're doing the same in Namibia. So this allows us to provide connectivity, internet, broadband services across Namibia, together with a partner, jointly holding hands to provide these services to those that are underprivileged and those that are privileged at the same time. So this is a milestone for MTN, and I know it is for Paratus as well, and we're very proud to be holding hands together and leading the way in innovation.
The cooperation between the two operators is in line with the provisions of the Communications Act. Paratus says investments in fibre remain the best solution and will continue this trend.
Thank you for watching. Join me again next time, and don't forget to follow us on our social media pages.
Great combo deal from Choppies! Choppies, great value for your money.
Are you a CMAS member? Did you know that should you need medical treatment, you have access to quality private hospitalization, guaranteed specialist treatment in private hospitals across Namibia with Compliment Gap? Compliment Gap is a complimentary product for CMAS members only, which covers the shortfall between what CMAS pays and private hospitals charge. You and your family have more than 2 million in medical gap cover per year at a very affordable price. That's not all. You also have access to emergency evacuation within Namibia and $10 million international travel cover for those unforeseen events abroad. Take the financial burden off your shoulders. Invest in your family's health. SMS GAP to 999 555 and we'll contact you. Terms and conditions apply.
Time now for Comments Corner, your daily dose of comments from our social media pages. The Landless People's Movement political party leader Bernardo Swartboy called for a press conference where he raised concern for the safety and well-being of Mike Ngipunya for revelations made in the bail hearing. While facing questions from the state prosecutor, Ngipunya alleged that the ruling party SWAPO gained tens of millions of Namibia dollars from fishing quotas for election campaigns. Michael says the money is gone and we should move on. Pandoleni says it's the first time she hears the LPM leader making sense and speaking in a mature manner. Laurentius agrees with Swartboy's statement, while Aaron noted that the country's justice system is captured.
Dear teachers, we know all the hard work you put in every day to make sure our kids get the best education possible. It's also our goal here at One Africa TV's #LearnOn1. That's why we bring free quality supplementary lessons that are 100% Namibian, complements of NMH's MyZone. Lessons include early childhood development programs and primary school lessons. These air on One Africa TV every weekday from 9 to 11 a.m. with repeats from 2 to 4 p.m. There's so much to learn with #LearnOn1. Invite learning in.
Castro Olumbu is standing by with the sport update.
Welcome to Sports on One. I am your host, Castro Olumbu. The Namibia senior men's cricket team ended their fairy tale T20 World Cup campaign underway in Dubai on a high note. Despite a shaky start to the campaign with a defeat to Sri Lanka, the team won 2 of their Group A matches, setting up a debut in the Super 12 round. The Eagles' first game in the round saw them beat Scotland by 4 wickets, further losing to cricket giants Afghanistan, Pakistan, New Zealand and India, crashing out of the tournament. Today on One Sports has more on this story. The Eagles tournament started with a 7-wicket loss against Sri Lanka, but they went on to defeat the Netherlands by 6 wickets and Ireland by 8 wickets to finish second behind Sri Lanka, setting up a debut in the Super 12 round of the campaign. Namibia was then pitted in Group 2 with cricket giants New Zealand, Pakistan, Afghanistan, India and Scotland. Yet again, Namibia proved to be a force to be reckoned with in the group as they started off with a winning start when they defeated Scotland by 4 wickets. Next on the fixture list were tournament favourites Afghanistan, Pakistan, New Zealand and India. Despite spectacular performances against the four nations, Namibia unfortunately lost all 4 games and were knocked out of the 2021 tournament. In a post-match interview following their last game of the T20 World Cup Super 12 round against India, captain of the Namibia senior men's cricket team, Gerard Erasmus, highlighted the team's performance and qualification for the 2022 World Cup despite being knocked out.
It's quick turnarounds between the games, so we haven't quite been able to really soak in what's been happening and what the experiences have been around us. I think only once we get back to Windhoek we'll really realise that we played at an awesome level of cricket, and we managed to compete in many of these games. We got a taste for what the level is like, and hopefully if we put ourselves out there more in tournaments like this, our cricket can only grow. Absolutely, as you say there, you've highlighted a few performances that guys individually can take from a tour like this.
Trumpelman was good.
Yeah, Trumpelman hit his straps, in that game against Scotland. So, we can take a lot of those positives individually, and as a team, we'll take this experience as a whole. It's going to lay a good foundation for us. So, if we want to, make the next step, we'll probably take this experience in. So that's another, awesome thing for us to look forward to. We've probably inspired another generation of cricketers looking to play cricket in Namibia, so they'll be looking forward to, next year's World Cup already, and they'll see that Namibia plays at a higher level. So, if they want to make some career choices, then we've inspired them at this tournament.
Following their fairy tale performance at the 2021 tournament, Namibia's Eagles have now also secured a spot at the 2022 ICC Cricket World Cup, which is scheduled for Melbourne, Australia. The Eagles will arrive back home on Wednesday, the 10th of November. And that is all we have for you tonight. Join us again tomorrow for Sports on One, and don't forget to follow us on our social media pages.
Thanks, Castro, for that update. Up next is the weather forecast.
A look at the weather forecast. First, an advisory from the Windhoek Met Office. Further thunderstorms are expected in the north and the east tomorrow. Heavy storms are possible in the Otterdam-Juba and Omahika regions on Thursday. Please to take the necessary precautions. The Namibia interior is sunny and warm in the west and in the Klaras region. Elsewhere, partly cloudy and hot with a few to isolated thunder showers in the central north, northeast and east. The coast partly cloudy and mild to warm, and the wind moderate to fresh southwesterly. Now we look at minimum and maximum temperatures across the country and beyond.
We've come to the end of today's edition of Today on One. Do join us again for a repeat at 9:30 and the Omnibus Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. From me, Isai Sipunga, and the rest of the team, it's good night.
The International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future, a hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUM for life. We are IUM.
Nothing is too good for my daughter. Now here's the deal, Nambi. There's no playing around with other boys before your wedding. Do you understand me? It's the most important day of your life.
Nambi, baby, you have a face like a
like a beautiful person. I got you this Virgin Mary necklace to protect your innocence.
Stupid man. We have loved each other since high school, and now you want to turn your back on me? All the plans we made, you just throw them away? And you want Nambi now? When I've always been there for you, Ziwa, do you understand? And she doesn't even love you. I wasted my time on someone like you.
Don't be like that, Jalia.
Love, everybody needs it. I am a busy night.
I like rhinos. I like them very much. Future here in this area is depending on the tourism. The future generation, they can see and they can benefit from their own resources. Animals like rhinos, elephants, the big five, you benefit from them and it must be respected. You are not feeding the rhinos, you are not giving them order, so it's a free business.
I don't know.
I take two of my sons, which was little bit 5 years old. They were young guys. So they asked me questions. Why are we here? Why are we sleeping here? I told them this is our resources and this is our future. My first memory of going with my dad is that I learned new things. As I grow up as a man, I see an opportunity in it. So I decided to look for a job pertaining to tourism. So that's when I was employed at Palamba. So I decided to go for tour guide studies. Because I grew up with the tourism industry, the wildlife, the rhinos and everything, to bring that experience to the tourist. You can see the hyena. The biggest changes, I was employed, getting paid, and also I can now support my family.
It's a cultural thing. It's coming a long way. Even if you go to area like Treverfontein, area was a lot of paintings. You will see rhino engravings on the rocks. That is an indication that the interaction between human, especially the local communities and wildlife, is dating back. That intimacy relationship is coming for a long time.
We are right here now at Palambach, and Palambach is one of the big lodges in the heart of the desert. And as you can see, there is Jumbo standing behind me. we chose, it's really a tourist area. We do have elephants, lions, but as you can see, the desert is the heart of the rhinos. This is the main breeding area of the rhinos, is what we found here in this desert.
It's the largest free-roaming population of black rhinos that you find outside national parks in the world. It's a population that communities in the northwest have taken responsibility themselves in managing this population with the structures that government has put in place, more specifically the establishment of conservancies.
These people, before independence, they took it upon themselves and decided that wildlife is our heritage, and through history we've been living with wildlife. And having wildlife in your area is like having a garden.
Because of all these animals, we've got the communities that benefit from all this wildlife, and it's like a triangle that fits into each other. And the communities looked after the wildlife doing their own thing, and the communities benefit.
So already there were this intergenerational relationship between mankind and wildlife, and that bond is what our people actually wanted to see it continuing.
Very few countries have the wildlife that Namibia has. What is also important is the policies that Namibia has put in place, which also involves communities to be engaged in the management of the wildlife species and also to benefit from the wildlife resources.
Turn conservation into a rural economy, turn conservation into endless opportunities that would actually cater for those young people that have nothing else to do.
If it was not for rhino economy and tourism in this area, it was really difficult for young people to get or find a job.
We are conservation engineers. We make conservation work in an unfenced area, and through that, we want to turn the wildlife into the rural economy that will benefit the rural communities.
So we can see now wildlife is doing very well, the lodges are doing well, and the community is also benefiting. So it takes all three together.
Devastating hit over coronavirus fears. Airline industry is facing its biggest threat to travel since 9/11.
Since March, when COVID-19 hit Namibia, things actually become very difficult. In the first place, all the lodges closed down because of COVID-19. With us, say the Rhino Trust, we had some donors cutting on their funding. And then we had, in the same time, a poaching case of 2 rhinos that was poached. We had less boots on the ground, and poachers could actually see. Now it's our change to go in and do something. So COVID-19 was tough on all of us. Ginger Morning, who is one of our trustees, actually came up with the idea of, why don't we ask you to go to buy some gold for us and make gold bars, and then we sell them for the rhino conservation.
I was fortunate enough to have a chance to have lunch with Clive Johnson, the CEO of B2Gold in Vancouver, Canada. And I looked at Clive and I said, we've got rhinos, you've got gold, let's do something. Let's create a coin or a medallion or a bar using your resource to create a sustainable source of funding for rhino conservation for the future.
There was it. The gold was bought, the bars was made, and I think it was 31st of January that we launched the bars in Windhoek. And suddenly one morning I had an email from my office, from my finance person, saying, these people don't have salaries. So I said, oh, what now? So I picked up my phone and I phoned Mark Law. I said, Mark, I've got this problem. He said, but when we've got the fund already ready for you, you just have to apply, put the proposal in.
1,000 ounces of gold can make an enormous difference to the livelihoods of the communities that live up there. We are, in essence, providing income and providing a livelihood to the communities. In the absence of tourism, especially now with COVID-19, even prior to that, when we had such a bad drought, the communities became even more dependent on the natural economy.
The idea is to make this a fund that will last for the next 25, 30 years, or even longer. And a portion of that will be distributed immediately as needed. And in this case, the COVID-19 crisis necessitated us to distribute funds to pay salaries to help people in the field.
The proceeds of the sales from the gold bars will be going towards responsible NGOs, and we've identified Save the Rhino Trust as the key NGO, and IRDNC, one of the first organizations that was in the Northwest, integrated rural development and nature conservation, so that ultimately the funds go to the communities, and various aspects of their war on poaching.
To be able to support those hardworking men and women that are always in the front line between the poachers and the rhinos.
If it was not for B2 Gold and the golden bars, I think by now we should have been in big trouble.
By extracting the gold, you reinvest it in other renewable resources.
The gold that's coming out from the ground is actually protecting the wildlife that's working on the ground, which is a very good symbol for the others.
I wish this was my bar. This is the 500 gram gold bar. So you'll see on this side you've got the Itindeka Mountains and you've got the mother rhino with her calf. And then on the reverse side we've got the serial number, you've got the Rand Refinery stamp, which is very important. Anywhere in the world people will recognize the stamp and they will know that this bar contains 99.99% gold.
It is gorgeous.
We wanted to make a biggest contribution, and at Ballowwood we see that as a way of giving back to the community.
Okay, so there you'll see the 500 gram bar.
Very special.
Feel the weight. It's incredible.
This opportunity which presented itself is absolutely a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
We're privileged to have this.
This is just absolutely gorgeous, and I think this showcases really what the project is all about.
It's from 24 karat Namibian gold.
I'm looking at these rhinos is put there like Miss World photogenic, I would say.
There are only 1,000 of these gold bars, rhino gold bars, in circulation.
As far as I'm aware, it's the largest single donation of any corporate to the conservation of biodiversity anywhere in Africa.
Therefore, we so much appreciate and would want to continue as a government to work with B2 Gold.
And the fact that it's happening here in Namibia is something that we can all be extremely proud about and very grateful to B2 Gold.
Thanks to having this literal pot of gold through the funding for the Rhino Gold Bar, we're able to step in now and make sure that those trackers are supported, and so are their families and their communities.
We make sure that people sustain their jobs going forward, and who doesn't want gold?
And the B2 Gold Rhino Gold Bar has come in at a really critical time now, particularly with tourism being closed off and those forms of revenue not coming in.
To say we have the biggest rhino population or black rhino population in the world, let it be for the rest of our lives. And it's that heritage that we have, it's our resource that we can all look after and protect.
It's our heritage. And it's also good that other people like B2 Gold are also seeing it that way.
It's actually a very nice link between the investor that buys this gold bar, the rhino tracker in the northwest of Namibia, and the black rhinos. It's an intergenerational thing. The rhino trackers teach their children how to track rhinos, their children get taught, and so it flows down.
This is something that I want my children to have, and that we leave a little bit of a B2 Gold legacy. And if I can be part of that as part of my family, I'd be very proud.
It can also become an inheritance for the generations of my own clan. My children, my grandchildren.
If we can bring that passion over to future generations and to hand that over to my children, and I hope that that same passion for conservation gets migrated over to my kids.
And what we've done together is create a sustainable source of funding that should outlive all of us.
You know, I think as far as B2 Gold is concerned, we couldn't have chosen a better target in which to put our efforts as far as the environmental and conservation pillar is concerned. And I want to stress there that the money that's going towards environment and conservation is actually going towards the people.
Rhino is for all of us, whether you are in Canada, whether you are in Vancouver, whether you are in the US, If you really want to see conservation at play with rural communities, I therefore humbly request each and everyone to join us on our rhino tour and have a wonderful experience. This is what keeps rhinos on this planet.
I've done rhino trekking experience. It was just amazing walking in that landscape of the Kunene. And as we followed them, we could now find rhinos with the calf. We got the closest distance we could.
It's a warning sign.
And it was just amazing and lovely, something to experience that Namibia can offer. It's something that you have to do in your life.
And I've got the power to choose. To choose between wrong and between right. And what I choose is my decision. Come on now, tough. Can you see I'm a chooser? I just choose what is right, I don't hurt nobody. I don't wanna be a loser. Just take my hand and let's change what we see now. Can you see I'm a chooser? I just choose what is right, I don't hurt nobody. I'm a winner, not a loser. Choice, my friend, don't be afraid now. Yeah, this is for all of my sisters. You should never live a life full of mistrust. You are strong, you are beautiful. To treat you any less unconstitutional. Hey, oh, baby, it's on now. Time will change, make the right from the wrong now. Shut it down till they all understand. We are the 77%. Cause from now on, enough is enough. Show respect, break the silence, man. If we unite, we are tougher than tough. Let's stop all the gender-based violence, ma. Can you see I'm a chooser? I just choose what is right, I don't hurt nobody. I don't wanna be a loser. Just take my hand and let's change what we see now. Can you see I'm a chooser? I just choose what is right, I don't hurt nobody. I'm a winner, not a loser. It's a choice, my friend, don't be afraid now. Yeah, now let me ask you, my brother. Would you ever disrespect your mother? Yeah, you say you're the king, but do you know what it means? Cause real kings always take care of their queens. Yeah. Oh, well, the real men now. We don't rape, we relate and protect now. Shut it down till they all understand. We are the 77%. Cause from now on, enough is enough. Show respect, break the silence, man. If we unite, we are tougher than tough. Let's stop all the gender-based violence, man. Can you see I'm a chooser? I just choose what is right, I don't hurt nobody. I don't wanna be a loser. Just take my hand and let's change what we see now. Can you see I'm a chooser? I just choose what is right, I don't hurt nobody. I'm a winner, not a loser. It's a choice, my friend.